whenever, of course, anybody shows up. Looks like it's good. So, we're gonna get started here. I'm gonna get ourselves set up so that we don't get distracted. Because distraction is bad, but common. Okay. We are going to be working on this, which is a solo RPG. I have been working on this with Nerdburger Craig, Craig of Nerdburger Games. We had a lot of thoughts about this. We thought about, just kind of making something maybe a little less violent and something a little more wholesome, I guess. I know that word ends up having some connotations, I mean, it's hard to even say, like, family friendly or something like that, but we wanted something that you could maybe play with your kids or play with younger friends or younger family. Something, or just something that is something you can just feel good about. Everything doesn't have to be misery and violence and all of that all the time. And I feel like that can just get to be a little much. I feel like it can get, I've really thought a lot about sort of, I'm just kind of rambling here for a minute, but I thought a lot about this sort of thing you put in your brain all day long. What do you put in your brain all day long? And some days I think you need to make a point of putting something a little more happy or motivating, cheerful, something to kind of lighten you up, right? Because when the world is kind of full of real life awful violence and misery, sometimes it's nice to escape to something that's not about that, something that's about something different. So this game is really about telling a story, and the book is sort of it feels like a storytelling sort of tool almost, where it it feels almost like a tool that sort of helps you write a story. And the way that we've written it and the way that we've sort of looked at it, there are varying levels of depth and intensity that you can go into while doing this. I gotta get back to the top page here. I don't think we have the cover yet. No. This is just my my running copy here, so. So yeah, you have a number of options. So what I'm going to be doing today, just for the sake of playtesting, because I am getting into, like, just sort of how things work, how do the numbers work, are they enough, are they not enough, that sort of thing. So I'm just going to go through quick. I'm just going to do everything in point form. But the game comes with a character sheet that has all of the important things that you need to know on it. so you can keep track of everything on here. And then I just have a little book open where I am going to sorry, I'm going to turn that off so it's not distracting me anymore. There we go. Yeah, so you can just do point form and just like, run through it. For the sake of, if you're just kind of doing it all in your head and you have good imagination and you want to do that. The other options are to, you could create a journal from the perspective of your character. So you could talk about, you could do a sort of preamble, and then there is a set period of time in the game. So you have a 4-week, 28-day schedule. And so you could do like here's my pre-adventure, and then as you play, you just write from the perspective of the character, like what happened that day. You could do that, or there's also a mapping element to it. So if you're interested in doing the mapping, there's some directions. There's some stuff around that. Where is it? I haven't figured out where everything in the book is here. Yeah. So I'm just gonna go back to this until I'm done the whole introduction thing. So yeah, you can. It gives you sort of a base concept of the island to start with, and then you can roll in terms of like what direction you're going. You can and then as you go, you can like draw out your map. You can like loosely sketch it, or if you're an artist, you can go nuts. Get loads on there, and you could do both. And when I was... Oh, I have a bot, apparently. Okay, there it goes. I also thought about the way that this is written. You could also run it with a group. I mean, it was technically, solo, but as a group, maybe in like a classroom setting or something like that, you could introduce the options and either have everyone write their own individual versions or everybody write like one communal story together. So there are ways that you could sort of involve some other people in this if you wanted to. A lot of the other fun things that we tried to involve into this was making everything very... just giving you enough information to sort of figure out, like, what is this thing supposed to be? It's supposed to be this. Okay. And then it's all on you. Make it up. It's all about your creativity. So what your character looks like, what you're doing, and especially when you meet the inhabitants of the island, you will... you get to like either completely invent them, or there's like some dice rolls you can do that'll give you some prompts. And we tried really hard to stay away from describing things in any particular, through any particular sort of cultural lens. We tried really, really hard to leave those things open so that, for example, if you see someone with feathery wings, most Westerners would call that an angel with sort of biblical background and blah, 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 and that has a whole, history and everything behind it. But, if you're from another culture that isn't Christian, or has another character another person in your culture or your history or your mythology that has feathered wings, and that it, ignites that idea in you. I would rather leave that open and just sort of like go, okay, here's a character with feathered wings, and then let everyone else decide what that means to them, instead of going, here's an angel, and like loading all of that sort of mythology and everything behind it with it. So this way, the concept, and I think also because of this like utterly gorgeous art that's in the book, is very unusual, and it's really stunning, and it's really surreal, and that's just, I mean, it's fantasy. This is your imagination. Go wild. Really let go. You don't have to base this on anything. This doesn't have to be, obviously it can be if you're very into a fandom or something, and you can work the story into that, enjoy. But the goal for this really was more to allow your imagination to really just have complete freedom. And I felt like that names of things, do carry a lot of weight. So hopefully we've succeeded in this. We'll see. Negative space. Yes. Yes. It is. It's so amazing. The artist's name is like has completely slipped my mind. I'll figure it out and post a link later. But yes, absolutely amazing. And so yeah, okay, so we can actually start talking about the game. Oh, I forgot my dice. How could I forget my dice? Well, these aren't my fancy dice, but they're my close by dice. Alright, so we just need 2d10s for this. I have an odd mixed set here. So I have a this really nice blended colored shimmery thing. And then I have this like fairly inexpensive, just sort of plain gold plastic thing. So yeah, these are my these are my nearby dice. Oh wait, I should have 2 of the nice one. Now that I'm thinking about it. Oh, I do. I forgot, yeah. Oh, here's the... Yeah, isn't that neat? Shiny rocks. Okay, don't get distracted by shiny rocks. So yeah, all you need is, a couple of dice and maybe something to write things down on. This character sheet, maybe it might be nice to add an extra page on this sheet. Now that I'm thinking of it, just to, if you wanted to just start making notes, so you wouldn't have to like open another page. Anyway, because I had to open another page and I can't figure out how to get it to show because I'm just trying to figure out this whole streaming from my computer thing. Anyway, I'm rambling again. So, the first thing we have to do is talk about what the island is. So, the Vibrant Isle is this sort of magical place that you can imagine is in the world. It doesn't have a particular time period. It doesn't have a particular place in the world, so it's just an island wherever you think an island that is difficult to get to would be. in the world, that's where it is. The idea is that it is a legend. It's a place with wondrous creatures and magic and strange happenings, but may also be very dangerous and is not an easy place to get to. So some people feel a sort of a calling, and they feel a drive to go there. And the island has wonders on it, and it's sort of alive in a way. And you have to almost prove yourself to the island. You have to prove to the island and its inhabitants that you are not a threat, that you are worthy of being there, because you're there for good intentions. And you get this sort of world building. It's about and then there are a number of different sort of scenarios that you can go through in the end. So there's a sort of there's different endings, different ways you can end it. So it gives you an opportunity to replay, because if you're going to roll differently every time, and it just gives you that opportunity. And then so you basically you're 4 weeks. Your limited time is designed to just sort of give you a certain finish and a place to end. And of course, you don't need to. You could just, if you got really into it, you could just keep writing. So we've got all these sort of descriptions here. So I guess we can start. So the idea is, I'm making a character who is wants to go to the island. I am desiring to go there. So what kind of a name? I need a good adventurer's name. That's a good adventurous kind of a name here. Let's see. Where's my random name generator here? This thing's the best. Nothing really jumping out at me here. Let's see. Okay, Zenobia. There's a that's a pretty Zenobia. There's my character's name. Gennaro is the last name. I just pulled another random name. And that's how I name things a lot of the time. Let's see. She is... let's say put her in her 40s. Done many jobs. Never settled down. Let's see, what does she look like? She's strong and stocky. From having done many jobs, I guess. Strong, I mean. Yes, I like that. Real friends call them Nobi. She has, let's say, pink hair. Blue eyes. And wears army surplus clothes. Alright. I can type. So, you have 4 traits. Each has a score between 1 and 4, higher being better. So you roll a d10, add your trait score to the results. So, we have 8 points to spread between all these. Traits. So let's see. Discover, interact, learn, and survive. So 8 points. I could just do 2, 4, 6, 8, and we can just do that. If I give everything 2, right? But let's instead take down 1 learn. Oh, no. She's done lots of jobs. So let's maybe reduce her interact. And let's up her survive. Okay. So these are your tracks. These factor into some things that happen as you go through the adventure. So they go up and down. So we're going to start with 3. We start with 3 points. So we've got worry, wonder, and willpower. Worry is your sort of sense of anxiety about everything and how, sort of negative feelings about your situation. Wonder, your positive feelings and your motivation. And your willpower is sort of your strength and ability to sort of power through. So I'm going to give her 2 willpower and 1 wonder. And okay, now here's all the other stuff that is on the sheet and some more really good art. Okay, so these are things that we have to track as we go. There are returns. So there's a couple of locations. If you don't succeed at what you want to do, or you don't get everything in that spot, you can come back. There's only a handful of these that you can do, so, choose them wisely. You have 4 weeks, so you can check those off. Camp protections. There's a few things that you can do that help do that. The inhabitants are the community of people on the island, so they're the people who live there, and as you meet them, you sort of slowly learn bits and pieces more about them, so they will slowly be revealed more and more, as in you will slowly create more and more about them as you go. Stockpile is is just your gear, stuff you're carrying around. You can carry 5 items, so you will get some items, a lantern, a utility knife, that sort of thing. Just stuff you can use. Critters are friend and foe, so they can be, we've got them over here, yeah. So you've got it over here, so if they're a nuisance or a helper. We had another level of friend, but that just turned out to be just more complicated than it needed to be. Oh, okay, so here we go. The stockpile actually already has everything on it, which is super handy. I saw that. Obviously, I've looked at this, but for some reason it just didn't occur to me. So this is very handy, so you can carry 5 maximum. Yeah, so you can click owned and carried, so that's really handy. Yeah, and you can keep your track of your critters here. And then there's magic. So magic also has a curse or a blessing. And yeah, you can even put the page right here, so you can like jump to it and know what you need. So yeah, here's your camp protections. There's 3 of them. Here's 4 returns. Here's your 4 weeks with your days. This is your inhabitants. You can describe them, put down their skills, and you mark how many encounters you have with them, because after a certain number of encounters, different things happen. So, how it works is trait checks. The trait checks. If anybody has any questions, feel free, pop into chat. Please, 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 please ask questions. And let me know if you can hear me clearly and all of that. Yeah, so much of this is, just says imagination, but, we've got trait checks to sort of help with the randomization. Just get a little, and put some not barriers, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, I find I have, such a big imagination. I have so many ideas all the time that I need some sort of boundaries to work within. To get me started, to help me kind of pare down my 5 million ideas to 1 million ideas. And so I like that's why I really like, part of the reason I really like role playing is it gives you this sort of framework to, I think that word I was trying to go for. Yeah, so what you do, you make a trait check, roll a d10, add the score of the trait, and compare that to your target number. So that's pretty simple. As a general rule, 6 is moderately difficult, 8 is very difficult, and 10 is heroic. But some gear, as you can see here on the sheet, gives you, so there's a spyglass, gives you +1 discover. Here's a sword that gives you +2 survive. But you find these as you travel, so if you have one, then you'll add those points. So this will help you. The other thing you can do are your three W's: worry, wonder, and willpower. So you gain and lose points for various reasons. These are going to fluctuate a lot, and you should gain and spend these. You can also spend a willpower to roll 2d10 while making a trait check and use the better. So basically to give yourself, advantage if you've played D&D and you understand what that means. So you can spend 1 willpower to roll 2d10 when making a trait check and use the better of the 2 dice. So you get to pick the higher number or the lower number, whichever one you want. There are times where you'll want a lower number. But anyway, so there's a finale. We're not going to get to that yet. I want to save that for the end. Yeah, so the finale happens anytime after you've reached your 5th encounter with the inhabitants. You can look at the finale section. But you want to make sure that you have a little bit of time to complete the finale, because there's sort of a little task that you'll need to do. So every day, you have 2 actions to spend. Every day you can do 2 things. And here is a list. So you've got 5 options. During the first week, you can scavenge the shipwreck. It's assumed that after the first week, you've done everything there is to do. You've picked out everything that's worth doing. Visit the inhabitants. So, of course, after you've encountered the inhabitants, you can follow these sorts of things. Study what you've learned. So at the beginning of the weeks, you can make a learn check to increase one of your traits by 1. So this will definitely help you get good successes. Protect your camp. If you make a survive check and you can succeed at one of these, you decide what it is you want to build. So if you have meditating shrine, you gain a willpower. If you have alarms, you never gain nuisances and lose the nuisances as you get to the camp. And a protective ward means you never gain any curses and lose any curses you have. So if you, say, roll a 10, but you want to build the meditating shrine, you can do that. It says you build any item you hit or lower. So the majority of what you're going to be doing is number 5, exploring the island. So here what we're going to do is do a percentage roll. So we're going to do, we've got our 10s and our, and so we're going to do that, and it'll give us a set of numbers. If you roll doubles, so like 22, 44, that sort of thing, you have an encounter with the inhabitants. But if you want to get encounters in a certain number range, because if there's an item or something that you want, you can spend worry, wonder, or reroll. And that will allow you to change that number. So you can spend worry to reduce it by 10. You can spend a wonder to increase it by 10. And the reroll, cost, and action, we'll see how that works out. So there's sets of numbers. Your character can return to an exploration later requiring an action but no exploration check. So you don't need to do that. And constraints. Yes, thank you. Sometimes I forget words. So here's just some more options in the book. So it talks about journaling. If you want to write a journal. You can also have a personal goal. I'm going to skip this personally because I'm just doing the quick run through. So, but if you're, going to sit and do a more elaborate story, then this is definitely a good idea. Add one of these things. So this is optional. Obviously, you don't need to do this. But say you're an artist, and you want to paint a magnificent vista. You're a writer and you want to write a story. You're a historian and you want to study about it. Or you want to find a plant or an animal that doesn't exist anywhere. Maybe you want to gather a unique rock. You want to, compose a musical opus, or you want to fight strange creatures. Yeah, it just gives you a little more, a little personal goal for your character, so that if you end up in an exploration that has a lot of role play option that is open to you, that gives you something to do there, and it also gives you, I feel like it gives you more goal to kind of interact with the inhabitants. So if you're like, I'm an artist or I'm a gardener and I'm really interested in, finding a particular kind of flower, I love orchids, maybe I want a very particular kind of orchid, you can introduce sort of your love of gardening and maybe go from there, right? Mapping, here's more gorgeous art. This, again, is an option. Now, one thing you do have to remember when you are mapping is that because the island is magical and alive, it does sort of move things around. So when you're drawing your map, you're basically drawing sort of where everything was when you were there. But I still think that can be fun. And I think that could be a fun adventure, sort of, drawing that map out. It gives a sort of vague description here. Assume the island is oval-shaped, wider from east to west, and your character's camp is in a protected lagoon in the middle of the south shore. Just nice and simple, really easy to imagine. And, you just kind of start from there. And so if you want to do the mapping and you want to, sort of draw it out, and again, you don't even have to do it super complicated. You can get a graph paper and just, do quick lines. You don't have to do anything really elaborate. But you can use your roll to sort of figure out which way you want to go. And so you just kind of start, closer to your camp. You can go out, and whenever I play video games that have a map that requires it to be uncovered, I am crazy about making sure. I'm sorry, I shouldn't use that word. I am very particular about getting every corner of the map. I need to get every part of it exposed. If there's an area that I can't get to, I get very annoyed. So I love the idea of mapping. I think once this is sort of, better done, like all finished up and everything like that, I might sit and try and draw out a map. I don't know. So here's some more stuff about critters. Look at this guy. Oh, he's so cute. He's big a froggo. So here's Big Froggo. And with horns. I love. A frogosaur, maybe? A dragon frog? I love. And I love this design too. This, with the, it smells like a bell in the middle of the staff. That'd be so nice. So again, we wanted to keep it fairly open in terms of the critters. So you can sort of describe them the way that you want to. Maybe your particular view of what you want to be doing for this world. Maybe you have a very particular vision. Maybe you want them all, I don't know, amphibious. Maybe you want like everybody to sort of, all the critters are amphibious and frog-like. Or maybe all of the critters are mammals or birds or, whatever. Or you have a theme. His name is Blurp. Yes. So, if you want to, or just a sort of style that you want to make them look like, you can do that. Helpers have skills that can help you out, so they can add bonuses or do things for you. And if you use this skill and you use this bonus, the helper will leave after helping you. And you can also get a nuisance. A nuisance is a bothersome critter that follows you and penalizes you in some way. So you've got a mosquito, in your face. I always get like between my glasses and my eyes, and they go in my ears. I don't know why mosquitoes have a thing with going directly into my ear, but yes, they do that a lot. So, so nuisance, bad. Helper, good. Obviously. Pretty simple. And what is going on? Why am I there? Okay. And here's a little bit on blessings and curses. So, hang on. So yeah, depending on where you go and what you're doing and how successful or not you are, you can get a blessing or a curse. And yeah, here's some details and technicalities. So also keywords. This is just sort of simplifying things for you. So there are a handful of keywords, and they're bolded just to make it kind of nice and obvious, and make it a little easier to navigate and read. So things that help you get up high, things that decipher runes, things that can be given as an offering, things that let you go underwater, things that open locks, or things that produce light. So if you automatically have something, if you have something like that, so for example, you go into a dark cave and it says, to roll to find your way around in the dark cave, but you have a lantern, you automatically succeed because you're carrying the lantern. Stupid ads, go away. Shush. And here's some stuff about the inhabitants. So every time you encounter them, you'll kind of flesh them out. So here, this gives sort of general size. We did have to pick a something to give a general idea of size. So we went with feet, as it is even in Canada, for some reason, even though everything else is metric, we still measure our heights in feet. I don't know why. Often. So just to, give you an idea. So you can go be anywhere between 2 and 8 feet tall if you want. Obviously, these are optional. So if you don't want to do that, you can change them. There's different forms. You got incorporeal, bestial, made of leaves and vines, insectoid, flesh and bone like a human. We gave two for that because there's so many ways you can go with that. It keeps it nice and vague. Amorphous, changing form, made of rock, made of pure energy and light, or made of crystals and gems. And then, so basically so that's the first thing you see. The first time you see them, you just get this vague concept of what they're like. And then as we go, they're going to get more complex. So we're going to skip over the details. We're going to skip over the details of that because we'll just catch them later. And have you enjoy this art for a moment here. Okay, and then here's some concepts about the finale, some different things we can do, some different options sort of that you can do at the end of the book. So, now we get into the explorations. So, ideally, when this is all done, in the PDF, it's not finished, you will be able to click on things. So if it's go to here, right, it says go to encounter 49. So you would just be able to click, you would just be able to click that and it would take you to that encounter. So, be much easier as PDF to do that. So here's a whole bunch of the exploration. And so here's some, So this is where I did most of the writing, is in here, in these. So it'll be really fun to be doing this. Now, let's see. Wow, no, what's going on? That's not what I wanted. I just want to see if there's how do I see this differently? No. I'm just finding this sort of swooping up and down business. View mode. Let's try 2 pages continuous. There we go. See how often I play around with this. Anyway. Okay. This will make it easier to read. So. We have landed on the island. Character sheet. Whoa, what's going on? Alright. We have landed. We are on week 1, day 1. So, For my first action for that day, I think I am going to scavenge the shipwreck because, well, I've crashed. Arriving at the island, I suppose some terrible thing happens and you crash, possibly so that you can't just hop back on your boat and disappear again. So, let's see what we get. 7. And my discover is 2. So that's a 9. So with a 9, I get an empty book, which gives me a +1 learn. So we're going to find that on the map, on the thing over here. Where is that? Empty book, +1 learn. Now we own that, and we can carry it because it's our first day, and we can carry 5 maximum. Okay. This is the first thing we're carrying, so we're good. Now, the second thing I'm going to do is explore. So let's do a percent roll. Or, no, I think this character is very, she gives me the idea of being very, very practical. So I think I'm going to protect the camp. I'm going to start with protecting the camp. I'm going to pick 1 die. Come on. Whoa! A 1. Plus survive of 3. It gives me 4. No, I do not succeed in improving my camp. I suppose, I think I'm gonna say that she is baffled by the strange plant life and terrain here, and she doesn't have experience to do that. Okay, so that's our 2 for the day. So we're gonna go to the second day. On the second day, we're going to, let's say we're gonna do a little more scavenging around. I don't think she's brave enough to go far yet. We've got a 7. Discovery is what again? 2. So that's a 9. And that add any 1 item. Oh, okay. So a 9. But I can find a spyglass. So let's find the spyglass because I can choose something lower. So we're going to find the spyglass. And then we're going to attempt again to protect the camp. Oh, I rolled a 1 again! Okay, wait. If I spend a willpower, I can reroll, right? Alright, I'm gonna spend a willpower. So let's take one of those away. And oh, I should. Okay, I was supposed to do that before I rolled the dice, but whatever. We'll go with this. Oh, and now I rolled 8 on both of them. Fine. So that was a survive check. So 8 plus my survive was what, 3? Yes. So 11. I have alarms. Sweet. Protect me from annoying mosquitoes. I'm not sure how you make an alarm from mosquitoes, but... You know what's worse than mosquitoes? Leeches. The worst. Okay, so that is my second day done. Now, third day. We'll do... let's just explore. I think we're just gonna go exploring. I'm feeling brave. 48. Now, obviously, again, once this is we'll be able to just go beep and go there, but I can't do that yet. I'm gonna have to scroll. And because I'm using a free PDF reading thinger, I have to tolerate the slowness. I tried opening these in LibreOffice and it's just a mess. Alright, 48. Is that what I rolled? Yes, 48. Visions of decay. Something isn't right. You study the jungle around you, squinting. Ever so slowly you see it. The trees begin to rot, leaves falling, brown and crinkled. The soil grows fetid and begins to reek of death. That's a typo. A bird above suddenly falls from the sky dead. Visions of the island decaying around you roll around through your senses for several minutes, chilling you to the bone. In time you feel achy and tired, as if the life is being sapped from you. And suddenly it stops, and all returns to normal, except for your memory of everything dying. Reduce your wonder by any number. Gain that same number of worry. If you have 0 wonder, gain 1 worry. Okay. So let's see, what do we have? Okay, so I have a wonder, which means I lose it. Correct? And gain worry. Okay. All right. That made me rather anxious. I did not like. I think I didn't like that. So, what should be my next step? I think after that, we're gonna head back to camp and maybe do a little more exploring. What page is this? Page 7. Okay, let's remember what page 7 is. So yeah, I think we're gonna go back and protect the camp after that, because I think that spooked her a little. First exploration, and it's all nasty. Okay, come on, survive. Good number, high number. 5. Oh, but wait, I have a survive 3, don't I? Yes. Brings me up to 8, which means I managed to build a meditating shrine. So I managed to build a shrine where I could sit down and relax. Definitely needed that after that horrible experience. Okay. Now we're going to the next day. I think we're just gonna have to go out and explore again. Despite the fear, you know, we gotta figure out what's going on. Where are we? What's going on with this place? 71. Okay. Come on. Where are we at? Load. Fart. Come on. There we go. 71. Pinecone Puzzle. Soft needles cover the earth under the rough trunk trees in this area. The trees are adorned with many large pine cones. There's another typo there. Fallen needles crunch softly under your feet as you examine the trees. Closely examining one very large cone, you can see the seed scales on its exterior surface have grown like a maze. You can run your fingers inside the groove. A voice cries out for help from inside the massive pine cone. You solve the maze. So we're going to have to solve the maze in the pine cone to release this creature. So we're going to do a learn check. Ooh, okay, so I rolled a 7, and I have what in learn? 2. So that's 9. And I did it. So I gain Fuzzy the Caterpillar as a helper. So let's go down to the end of the back of the book where the things are here. Fuzzy the Caterpillar. A tiny caterpillar with brightly colored skin. Whoops. I didn't mean to highlight it. I need to copy it. Yeah. No, I don't want to add a text box. Ah! Look, I just... there. Alright. We have a lock-picking caterpillar. Oops. Okay. And then, was there something else that I missed here? Oh, +1 survive. And that is on page... what page is that on? 65. You have a gin? Or is he being a pain? Silly boy. What? OMG what? Come here, baby. Come here. Come here. Nope. Come here. Come here. Come here. Okay. I was trying to... yes. Oh, the text lag is bad. I'm sorry. Oh, Here, can you see him? Let me see if I can. There we go. I got some of that cat candy. It's like it's a little treat that they put in a sort of candy form, and you stick it on the wall, and the cat licks it whenever they want a little snack. So that is Jin, and he's having a little snack. Hey, buddy. Now I don't want to interrupt him, but I want to show you kitties. Anyway. Okay. Let's get back to this. Now. Where were we? Okay, we found our critter. And let's do another explore. So we're going to get back up to... What page did I say that? Whoops. That's 6011. Oh, it's a little past this, I think. Nope. Before? After? Where am I going? Ah! Okay, here we go. Alright, let's do another explore. 27. Giant footprint. As you trek through the foliage, you begin to notice signs of disturbance. The critters who are usually chirping, calling, scrabbling, or crawling seem to be quieter here. Even the leaves rustle less. You spot branches broken high and low in the trees, and soon you find yourself teetering on the edge of a huge footprint pressed deep into the earth. If you have less than 2 willpower, you flee the scene. Well, I only have 1 willpower, so... Ah! I'm running away! I run away! And then I go hide in my camp. So, that's that. Next day! Except now I have a buddy. So that's my good. I think I will try... one more. No, wrong way. It's page 7. I will try one more Scavenge the Shipwreck because it's the first week. See what I get. I get another fun item. 8 plus Discover a check is 2. So that's a 10. And that gives me a perfume plus 1 interact. Okay. So, now we have 3 things. I have to remember that I own these things and I can use them. Excuse me. Okay. So, we've done that. We found some more things. Now we are going to... let's do another explore. Come on, doubles. No, 63. Let's see what happens. "63 bog bugs. The meadow before you appears to be nothing more than that, a grassy meadow. The damp smell in the air and the water soaking your shoes tells you otherwise. As you walk, you start to sink into the well-camouflaged bog. As you pick your way across the bog, you notice more and more, not you way, not your way, not you way. You notice more and more strange insects around you. They're landing on the plants and flowers, but their number are increasing with each step. Now, there are a lot. Maybe it's time to run. So we're going to do a survive check. So that's a 5, and I have a survive of 3, I believe. Yes. So 8. So that is enough to get me through, I believe. Yes, because I needed a 6. So if you succeed, you notice and grab a compass as you run. If you fail, a cloud of bugs follows you everywhere. Ugh. No thank you. Okay. Compass. Woohoo. That's a good one. Okay, so now I'm carrying 1, 2, 3, 4 items. Okay, so I can only carry one more thing. So I've got to remember to use them. I don't know if you can hear it. But Jin is still having the treat. He's still eating the treat. He's just like, blah, 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 blah. It's attached to the wall. Because it's like made like a candy, like a hard candy. So it's really cute. Anyway. Alright, so I've got a compass and I escaped that, so we're gonna try another adventure. Let's see. 76. Let's go down here. 76. Critter Crossing. You stand on the shore of the river looking out over it, considering the different ways to cross. Approximating the depth, you're sure you can ford the river by walking, keeping your arms above your shoulders. Then you hear a chorus of tiny voices. Down the shore a bit, you see a cluster of wild creatures. They're chattering to each other and gesturing toward the river, worry on their faces as they try to build a little raft. You wonder if you could help them cross the river. Okay, if you can get up high, you can ferry them across. You know, I don't have any items that let me go up high at this point. See, there's like rope and hook, climbing daggers, that sort of thing. So, we're not going to do that. We're going to have to build a raft. Survive check. So, survive 3. Plus 3 is 6, just enough. If you succeed, they thank you by showing you some shortcuts, and you gain 2 additional actions. Nice! So that was my first action. And for the day, right? Was that my first? I think it was my first. So that means I have 2 more. So let's go. 23. Oh. Slippery hill. In the darkness of the forest, with little sunlight reaching this deep, you move carefully up a steep hill. Suddenly, your feet slip out from under you and you begin sliding down the hill. As you slide and tumble down, you spot something glinting below you. Can you grab it as you slide by? Grab the dagger. TN8 discovery check. Okay. Discovery. Oh no, I rolled a 2. And I have a discover of 2. Which only brings me to 4. And even if I used my... Yeah, that's an 8, so I'm not getting it. Okay. As you slide, you hear a ghostly voice speak as if whispering in your ear. Now sacrifice what is strongest in your heart. If your wonder is higher than worry, lose 1 wonder. Oh. Just notice there's got to be a space there. And we're missing the quotation marks right there. Anyway. Okay, if your wonder is higher than your worry, let's see. Okay. My worry is higher. So, lose 1 worry. Alright. Lose 1. Okay. And I get 1 more. 17. Let's see. Oops. Fallen nest. These strange trees are home to birds. A couple of nests cling to the trees, but one has been knocked down and scattered across the forest floor. The feathers of a large bird trail from the nest deeper into the woods. These trees have a smooth bark, branches beginning far off the ground. Impossible to climb, but you think you see a hint of metal in one of the nests above. So if you can get up high, you'll find a dagger, but I have no way of getting up high, so I have to do this. Follow the trail of feathers to encounter 14, Crystal Menagerie. This is not cost an action. Alright, so I follow the trail of feathers, and I end up Crystal Menagerie. Sparkling light catches your eyes through the leaves as you approach. A faint, tinkling bell-like sound can be heard as you enter a clearing and see crystals carefully hung about. After a moment, you notice that there are objects and creatures inside the crystals, frozen for eternity. A crackling sound behind you reveals a spiky, crystalline creature coming straight at you, lunging on wickedly sharp crystal legs. So we're running. Survive check, so I have a 3 in that, I remember that. So 9! So succeed, gain a skeleton key, which can open a lock. So this will be the last thing I can carry on me. I'll have to start using some stuff. Make some more room. Alright. That was an exciting day. So, we're going to go to our next day. And since this is the last day of exploration that I can do where I can get to the shipwreck, I'm going to see if I can get that dagger. Just cuz. No, I will not. So, I will get nothing. So, do one more explore. 14. Now, obviously, if you were doing journaling and whatnot, you would be, writing little stories and everything about every little bit that's going on. Or, you can just do what I'm doing and just keep it in your head, because it's fun. 14. Oh, we've been here already. So, what do we do when we end up in a place that we have already been? What is that option again? You can choose to reroll, but it costs an action. Okay, well that'll... Yeah, I don't think I want to go back to where the crystal monster is. So... this will just be my one thing for the day, I guess. 52. Jin, are you still there? Yeah. 52. I went too far. Alright, 52. The Oracle. Ooh, okay. This is gonna be interesting. I need... yeah, go on. Oh, thanks. That's really cool. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I just need to step away for 1 second. I just need to refill my water because I'm getting a bit of a sore throat here. So I will be right back. Alrighty, you know, yeah, you're right. I think I might take a break. I might finish up and finish up this week here, and then come back on tomorrow and finish it up. Because I think I'm on my last day. Yes, I'm on my last day. So that's my first week done, and oh wait, no, I didn't finish this one. Okay, so we're gonna just finish this. A waterfall stands before you. From behind it, you see movement. Investigating, you discover a hollow, and within it, an ancient tree. You slowly approach, wondering how a tree could live so long in the shade. As you reach out to touch, the tree leans toward you. A branch twists and reaches to grasp your hand in a handshake. Its bark creaks and splits, revealing eyes and a mouth, and it speaks. Greetings, young one. I am Deeproot. You seek old magic and new friends. I can help. That's so cool. Okay, so what do we want? Do we want old magic or new friends? Well, we have a friend, so let's go for some magic. Oh. Sure, let me know what that is. What is it that needs tweaking? Please let me know. Oh, that is you. Okay. Yeah, and I've thrown up a couple of highlights on a couple of typos here, so. Okay, let's see. Which one should I pick? 19 sounds good. I don't know why, that just seems like a good number. Let's go for 19. What number are we at here? Oh, go a little further. Okay, ominous cavern. Sunlight glints off the hill up ahead. As you trek closer, the light becomes more intense. By the time you arrive at the hill, the light is nearly blinding. You can barely make out dozens of large crystals inside the cavern on the hillside. Inside the cavern, the light bounces around. If only you could shield your eyes sufficiently to explore the cave. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, this was the one I was thinking of trying not to use the word blind. But it's hard to describe, you know, what that means, because, like, having a bright light shining in your eyes does make you, you know, unable to see anything except the bright light, which, you know, but I don't know. Anyway, so let's see. TN8 learn check. What do we have in learn? Oh, I rolled an 8. Sweet. And I have a learn of 2, so huzzah. What do I get? I gain the brass hammer blessing. Ooh. Let's see what I get. It's down here at the end. Brass hammer. A finely crafted tiny brass hammer with a silver inlay. Whoops. I'm still on, no. Okay. Alright, let's put this on the sheet. What? Oh. That is a blessing. And that's on page 67. Okay, so you can open a lock. Hey, let me do that. Why won't it let me do that? Weird. Alright, can open a lock. Nice, yes. get rid of this. I keep getting confused by having too many things open. Okay. Can open a lock. All right. That's very handy. Okay, so that is my first week done. And we didn't encounter the inhabitants yet. Oh. So we're going to have to try really hard to do that when we do that next time. But I have not been feeling super great today, so I am going to take a break there, and I will jump in again tomorrow, hopefully a little earlier in the morning, and I will get back into it. And yeah, so I will get back into it and keep going with the rest of my adventure. I think I'll get a lot more done tomorrow, because I spent a good chunk of this time sort of introducing the concept and introducing the everything around it. So tomorrow I'm just going to give a quick intro, and then I'll just dive right into the role-playing part, and then we'll have some stuff done. So thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you tomorrow.